Welcome, fellow lovers of the weird and strange. This is Lance, your host of Legends of the Hidden Horde, where we explore the cryptids that stalk the dark corners of our globe. A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in. Your ears make these strange journeys possible. If you're enjoying the show, please hit that subscribe button, leave us a quick review, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or X. Every subscription, every star rating, every follow helps us reach more curious minds and keeps the stories coming. Your support truly makes a difference. Now let's dive into the next story. Tonight, we soar into the shrouded bluffs overlooking the mighty Mississippi to confront a chimeric nightmare born from ancient Native American rock art and woven into enduring folklore. This is episode 10, the Piasa Bird. In the shadowed cradle of the Mississippi River's limestone bluffs, where fog clings like a shroud to the ancient rock and water whispers secrets too old for human ears, the Piasa bird stirs. Not as a mere echo of faded paint or a tourist curiosity, but as something primordial, half dream, half hunger, that has never truly slept. It is the year 1673 when Father Jacques Marquette first glimpses it, his canoe slicing through the river's glassy midnight mirror. The French Jesuit, accompanied by the explorer Louis Jollet, rounds a bend near what will one day be called Alton, Illinois. And there, 40 feet above the swirling currents, loom the painted monster. Two colossal figures, Marquette later records, their forms a blasphemous fusion, wings vast enough to eclipse the moon, bodies armored in scales of green and red and black like the hides of drowned serpents. Antlers branching like lightning from a deer's skull, eyes burning crimson as fresh blood, a face disturbingly human, yet bearded like a tiger's snarl, and a tail long and forked, coiled like a fish from the depths. The images pulse with an unnatural vitality, as if the rock itself breathes. Marquette's companions avert their gaze. Even the boldest savages, he notes with a tremor, dare not linger under those stares. The air grows thick, charged with the scent of ozone and decay, and for a fleeting instant, the priest swears he hears the flap of leathered wings overhead, not from the painting, but from the void beyond it. Centuries before the Europeans' arrival, the Illinois peoples, the Cahokia, Peoria, and their kin in the sprawling Mississippi world, knew the truth woven into those pictographs. They called it names that twisted the tongue like river currents, a spirit bridging the upper world of thunder and the underworld of shadowed waters. Some elders spoke of it as akin to the underwater panther Mississippi, the malevolent guardian of lakes and rivers whose scales gleam beneath the surface, dragging the unwary into the abyssal layers. Others whispered of thunderbird bloodlines, colossal avians whose wing beats birthed storms. Yet this one had twisted into something hungrier, more chimeric, a devourer that blurred the lines between sky and the abyss. Villages along the bluffs lived in its shadow. At twilight, when the Mississippi turned the color of bruised iron, the Piasa would descend, not a bird of feathers and grace, but a nightmare of sinew and talon, antlers scraping the stars, red eyes piercing the gloom, claws that could pluck a full-grown warrior from his firelit circle as easily as a hawk takes a rabbit. It carried them screaming to caverns honeycombing the cliffs, where bones piled in thousands, human and deer alike, cracked and gnawed clean. The air in those caves reeked of rotten ancient power, and the tribes offered prayers of propitiation, painting warnings on the rock to mark its domain. The creature was no mindless beast. It was a liminal terror, a cosmic balancer that punished hubris, reminding mortals of the thin veil between worlds. To slay it was to invite chaos, for the Piasa embodied the wild's indifferent fury, the flood, the storm, the unseen current that pulls you under. The legend, as it darkened through generations and colonial retellings, took on a sharper edge of dread. In 1836, the scholar John Russell, wandering the bluffs near Bluffdale, unearthed, or perhaps conjured, the tale of Chief Uatoga. The chief, tormented by the beast's depredations, received a vision from the Great Spirit in a fevered dream. The Piasa, for all its mights, harbored one frailty beneath its wings. Uatoga offered himself as bait, his body painted in ritual ochre, while 20 warriors lay concealed with arrows tipped in the deadliest poisons drawn from the river's roots and forbidden berries. The wind howled like a dying thing as the Piasa appeared, a silhouette against the blood-red sunset, its scales catching the last light in oily rainbows, its human-like face contorted in ravenous glee. It swooped, claws outstretched, and in that frozen moment, the arrows flew. Poison seared its veins. It thrashed in the air, screeching a cry that split the sky and sent fish leaping from the river in terror. The beast plummeted into the Mississippi, its body vanishing beneath the waves, staining the water black for days. The grateful Eleni etched its image deeper into the stone as both memorial and ward, a reminder that even gods of the wild could fall to cunning and unity. But Russell, in his quieter confessions years later, admitted the tale's embellishments, born not from pure oral tradition, but from his own romantic ink, layered atop the fading pictographs like fresh blood on old scars. The true spirit had never been so neatly vanquished, yet the Piasa endures, a cryptid woven from folklore's frayed threads. Its original murals eroded by time, quarried away for lime and progress in the 19th century, but echoes persist. Modern hikers along the Great River Road report glimpses at dusk, a shadow too large for any eagle, antlers silhouetted against the thunderheads, a low rumble that vibrates the chest like distant wings. Fishermen speak of ripples without cause, of bait vanishing into the depths where no fish should dwell. In cryptid lore, it lingers as a thunderbird's dark cousin, or as a surviving relic of Pleistocene horrors. Its cave of bone perhaps real ossuaries, now sealed by landslides or forgotten. The reproduction on the Alton Bluffs, repainted in vivid defiance, 48 feet of red, green, and black fury, serves as a beacon and bait. Tourists photograph it by day, but at night, locals avoid the sight, claiming the eyes follow you, that the wind carries a faint serpentine hiss. The folklore mutates. Someday the Piasa was never slain, only bound by the paint itself, disturbed the rock, and it awakens. Others tie it to the Cahokia as mound builders, whose cosmic rituals honor such things as portals between realms, upperworld thunder, middle-world life, underworld chaos. To encounter it is to brush the veil, to feel the pull of something ancient that modernity's lights cannot banish. And so, in the quiet hours before the dawn, when the river mists rise and the bluffs seem to lean inward like conspirators, the Piasa awaits. It is no extinct legend, but a living shadow, patient in the liminal spaces where humans' maps fail. Those who speak it find only reflections of their fears, their hungers, the wild they long ago tried to tame. In the Piasa bird lies a profound philosophical truth. It is not a monster to be slain, or a cryptid to be cataloged, but the eternal embodiment of humanity's fractured covenant with the unseen forces that govern existence, the liminal guardians bridging order and chaos, spirit and flesh, past and future. As our world hurtles towards ecological unraveling, with rivers poisoned, skies choked by storms of our own making, and ancient balances tipping into the abyss, the Piasa whispers a warning. Ignore these entities at our peril. They foreshadow a future where the devoured may well be us, not by talent and scale, but by the very hubris that paints over the wild. In reckoning with such myths, we confront the imperative to restore reverence for the unknown, lest the shadows we dismiss rise to reclaim the earth we believed conquered. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a follow on Facebook, Instagram, or X. Subscribe to the podcast. And until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.